Hi, I'm Shelley Wood and this is my tiny sewing room where I make doll clothes sewing videos. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute and swingy tank top to fit the Creatable World dolls and other 9 to 10 inch fashion dolls like this Stacy doll. But before we begin making this project together, please go to my website shelleywood.com to download and print this free PDF sewing pattern. Use the pattern to cut out all the pieces shown. Lay one shirt front on top of another, keeping right sides together if you're using fabric where it matters. Sew around the neckline and both armhole areas. Set this piece aside for a moment. Lay one shirt back on top of the other. Again, keeping right sides together if needed. Sew around the neckline, down the back closure area, and across the bottom of the shirt back. Next, sew the armhole area for the back piece. Here's how it should look. Follow these directions for both shirt back pieces. In this next video segment, I'm using Fisker's Stitcher's Detail Scissors. There's a link to these helpful scissors in the description below this video on YouTube. Carefully clip all of your seams and corners, which is what I'm doing here. Now you might notice that I use the big scissors to cut the corners, and then I use the little scissors for all the clipping. Clip seams for the shirt front as well, and you'll see me doing that here. And this is what I mean by clip. They're teeny tiny little cuts. You want to be careful that you don't actually cross the seam with your scissors. Invert all the pieces that you've made so far. The straps can be especially tricky, so I use a chopstick to help me with inverting them. And you'll see me grab my chopstick and I use it with a twisting motion to try to get those corners gently poked out. And of course this is going very fast, but you want to go slow and gentle so you don't accidentally rip the fabric. So you're going to turn both backs right side out, and then you're going to turn the front right side out. And while I have a moment, let me just say that I would not actually use black thread for my garment. I would use orange, but I do that for your benefit. Use a hot iron to press the seams for both back pieces and the shirt front also. You should now have 3 pieces that look like this. Lay one of the back pieces on top of the front. Stitch across the top of the shoulder strap. Now I'm using a backstitch for this. There's a link to my backstitch tutorial video in the description below if that helps. Lay the other back on top of the front shirt piece, and once again stitch it together at the shoulder. Open the garment up like this and press the shoulder seams. Fold one of the backs down against the front, keeping right sides or finished sides together, and stitch from the underarm to just shy of the finished edge. I stopped sewing and tied a knot 1.5 centimeters, or approximately 1/2 inch from the finished edge. Bring the other back down against the front two, and sew this side seam just like you did before. Now the front piece still has an unfinished edge. Open the bottom of the garment's front and fold it inside itself. Try to make its closed edge even with the back pieces. Now, after folding these raw edges inside, use straight pins to hold the folds inside. Then whip stitch to close the bottom of the front. Need help with the whip stitch? I have a tutorial for that. Just look in the description below this video on YouTube. Now in a moment I'll show you a quick video, here we go, of how I did this. Okay, so when you look at the bottom of the front, you can see this edge is a raw cut edge. So we're going to fold it inside itself and kind of compare it with the back piece. See how I'm comparing them to see if they're about the same? We want them to be even with each other. And then I start putting straight pins across the bottom of the front piece to really hold that in place while I whip stitch the front piece. And you're going to have to keep rolling that inside itself and then putting another straight pin to hold it. Okay, now the side seams will need to be finished. Again, I'm doing a back stitch to close these off. You'll need to do this on both sides of the shirt. Turn it right side out, which is what you see me doing here, and you won't need a chopstick for this. It's pretty simple. You just pop it out. There we go. Add a strip of Velcro to the back as a closure. And now you're ready to try it on a doll. For more free, printable PDF sewing patterns for making doll clothes that will fit dolls of many shapes and all different sizes, please remember to visit my website, shelleywood.com. Hey, did you know that you could design your own doll pants patterns from scratch with just a limited amount of sewing knowledge? Pattern design is made simple by connecting your doll's measurements with a template I give you during my course. I'm Shelley Wood, the doll clothing designer. I own Shelley Wood LLC and the website shelleywood.com. In my Creative Spark online learning course on doll pants design, I'll teach you the basic fundamentals of pattern design, like how do seam allowances work, before we move on to work on designing our own leggings, jeans, fly front pants, and even overalls. So please join me. I would love to see you on the Creative Spark online learning platform. Come see what we offer. Again, I'm Shelley Wood, one of the instructors.